Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. My name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Um, let's get into it. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for helping to co-create these messages. I really do enjoy it. So, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the likes, shares, comments, subscribes, and the donations. They all really help out the channel. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And if you are interested in a personal reading, I do have my Etsy store up and going. So feel free to check that out. It will be in the description box below. My Etsy store is Divine Devon. Right. It's not gonna be a rut. What does the collective need to know today? Okay, we've got action. Okay. We've also got horses on this card, and um we are coming into the year of the horse. So that could be extra resonant. Maybe this is going to be a year of action for you. These are timeless messages, so if it's not the year of the horse, that doesn't mean this message isn't for you. It could just be that energy coming through. It's very action oriented. It's very forward moving. It's very much going after what it is that you desire. And then we've got the temple path. Okay, so we've got the temple path, which is it's that internal journey is what it's really reminding me of. Okay, I'm told to look at this one. Oh well, there's a lot for this one. Okay. So this represents your own spiritual evolution. The winding path you are on leads to a blessed temple in a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul has had in mind for this lifetime. This card is to tell you that what you're going through now is all part of your soul's process. You're on your karmic path and heading in the right direction. The choices you make now are important for your personal growth and life lessons. It's also showing that you have all sorts of loving spirit helpers around you. So this can be passed on loved ones, angels, spirit guides, whatever divine forces you work with. And it suggests to call upon them and be open to their wisdom and inspiration. This is a wonderful life expanding time, so keep in mind your personal priorities as well as your spiritual connection. Following your higher intentions will help you move your life forward in dramatic ways, and connecting with spirit and your higher self will have a wonderful influence on all that you experience. And then we've got action. And so maybe this is really talking about divinely inspired action where you start to operate from a place of getting into alignment in the best way possible for you in that moment, and then acting from that place. Yeah. The action card is also talking about being a time for more aggressive forward movement. It's intentional and concerted action directed to your goals. So it indicates you're on the right track, but your determined efforts are being asked to be increased right now. And it's also about balanced action, so that makes sense. So this is about getting balanced within as much as possible and then taking that forward movement towards your goals, your dreams, your desires. And then we've got indecision in the reverse. And so this one, hmm. Okay, so reversed, it indicates a newfound freedom from indecision. You've either recently made or are about to make an important decision. Bring a clarity of consciousness to your new direction. The fragmented and confused energy you've been sending out is gone. Now you can bring new structure to your plans in life. You may not have known what to do in the past, but your soul has been trying to guide you along this whole time. Open up to the potential of this time and create clear and powerful intentions regarding your new choice. Then let yourself move forward with purpose and personal power. So that's big energy. This is very much being in alignment and then really taking that action towards your highest potential. Your dreams, your desires, goals, those types of things in all forms of life. I'm not picking up a specific aspect of life. So for a lot of you, this can be in all areas of life. I feel like you've actually just leveled up. I feel like you have opened yourself up to a new way of being. And now, from this place of being, you get to take that action towards what it is that you really desire in your life. And really, it's one of these like, I really feel like you are going to see progress beyond what you could even fathom now. Um, this is big, big energy. Big energy. I said that in a reading not too long ago, so that's kind of funny. Um, that might have been yesterday or a couple days ago. Time's doing a thing lately. I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but the fact that I'm talking like that it came up um might be symbolic. So, yeah. And maybe it was just as simple as making a choice. Maybe it was something like because I feel like you were sitting in this indecision for a while. Maybe the confusion, the indecision, the which path do I take, which one's for me, yada yada. And then something clicked, something changed. Maybe you got a confirmation in some form. Maybe you all of a sudden came to the point where clarity just came over you and you were able to see it fully and clearly and go, okay, I understand it now. So now I'm gonna move forward. Um in that direction. Yeah, and with the 2 of Wands, that's it's picking a path basically. And so okay, so I just asked like, have you already picked this path or are you picking this path? So I feel like what is happening in your energy right now is it's kind of a pivotal moment for you. It's one of these like these two paths I feel like have been open for you. You've been able to perceive this alternate path for some time. Maybe for some of you it's, days, weeks, months, some of you maybe years. And it's one of these like these two paths have been illuminated to you for some time now, and you've been kind of in this indecisive energy of like, do I go this way, do I go that way, do I go this way, do I go that way? And what's happening now is I feel like that clarity, if that clarity hasn't fully come yet, it's coming like rapidly. And so just keep doing whatever you've been doing. Sitting, maybe for some of you it's meditation, for some of you it could be walking in nature, creating something like that. Keep doing those things that you've been doing because this clarity is going to help you to really choose the path. And the main thing that's really coming through, because the 2 of Wands, that is indicative of being in an energy where you are debating what path to take and you haven't actually made the decision yet. And so what this message could be coming up for you to tell you right now is you've been aware of these two paths for some time. Now it's time to take action. Now it's time to decide which path you're going to take and move down that path. And the thing is, with this temple path card, what I feel like is really coming up right now is it's important for you to follow the path that your soul and your heart is leading you to. um it's going to be the path that maybe logically doesn't make as much sense. For some of you, maybe you've got a path available to you that's logical, that's safe, that makes sense, that's like, excuse me, confirmation. Um, maybe it's something where you're like, yes, this path, I know this path, I know where it leads, it's clear, so on and so forth. And this other path is like, it's kind of overgrown. It's you don't exactly know what's beyond this growth that you can see kind of down the path a little bit. I'm being shown like the start of a dirt trail, like when you're hiking, and you can kind of see like at one point it may have been a trail, or maybe just some animals have walked on it a few times, and then it's like overgrown where you can see. So it's like you see a potential path, but it's overgrown. So you don't know what's on the other side of that. But there's a part of you, a big part of you internally that's saying, walk that path, go that direction. Once you clear through that overgrowth area, it's gonna open up to something miraculous that you can feel, but it's not 100% tangible yet. And, it's from other people on the path with you, that path is the one that doesn't make logical sense. That path is the one that is like, I mean, are you sure though? Like, that sounds a little risky, or that sounds a little, like, why would you logically take that path? And you're like, well, it's not really logical, but it's like a magnetism. There's something about this path that just brings excitement, and just like, it's very unknown, but it's the path that is leading you to soul fulfillment. And so this is where it is very, very important to continue to do that self-reflective work, where you're sitting, with yourself in whatever way that is, and the divine forces you work with, and really getting the guidance on which path to take. This is completely up to you. We have free will. You can take the path that's safe and known and everything else. It's just know that the cost of taking that known safe path can be not experiencing your full soul potential. And so it's one of those, if you are operating from an energy where you're like, I know I'm here for more, I know I'm here to experience big things. And maybe it's one of those, you knew that for a while in your life, and then you were like, oh, well, maybe that's just not for me. And then you kind of were like, I'm just going to walk the safe and known path. And then now it's coming up to be like, no, your soul's not going to rest. Your soul's not going to allow you to rest. And it's one of these things too, where if you choose the safe path now, that's okay. At some point in the future, when we're talking, linear earth years, at some point in the future, it's probably going to come back up for you, because this is where your soul is calling you to. And so if you're being called to this path, it's for a reason. That's part of what you came here to experience as a soul. And so it's one of those, you can take the safe path and you can walk that path, and it's going to be fun, and you're going to have good experiences and everything else. It's just not going to quite be soul fulfilling, and you're still going to have this longing, this soul unrest, until you choose to walk that path. And, some people ignore it and never walk that path. And that's entirely up to you. I just feel like it's really, really coming up for you right now, because you're at this pivotal point where you can choose to walk this other path, and you're going to experience things that you know, probably never thought possible. Okay. What what else? What else can we tell the collective about this? Okay. Thousand first or not. Okay, the Four of Swords is a period of rest, but it's also kind of cautioning to make sure that you're not using it as escapism. Um, like, are you resting because you actually need to, or are you resting and not choosing because it's safer and easier to stay in that energy? Eight of Pentacles. I'm being told to read it. Okay. Diligence and attention to detail help to hone our skills and lay the building blocks for a successful future. Are your work and your passion the same thing? If they are not, are you doing your best anyway? Can you find ways to make your effort be its own reward? What do you work at that makes you happy or proud or both? Is there a challenge in your work, something that will help you develop skills that will serve you later? If you feel as though you're not being appreciated for your efforts, is there a way to step up your game a notch? Don't forget to be proud of yourself no matter what others think. So I feel like this is just confirmation, especially because of where it landed, that if there's a dissonance in your work life, your career, physical manifestations, that's something that by choosing to walk the temple path, so to speak, by choosing to walk the path that is overgrown in that previous analogy, it's going to align your work and your passions at some point to where then you are doing your passion for a living. And so that's another part of this path. For some of you, maybe this is a situation where it's like a romantic partner, or a potential romantic partner that that's just that feels like that path that's a little overgrown. Like maybe you've got options over here and they feel safe and they're known and they're this and they're that. And then there's this one romantic option where it doesn't make as much sense. It doesn't seem like to others looking in, maybe they wouldn't recommend you to go for this person, but there's that calling. And then the thing is it's one of those like by choosing that path, all of a sudden your finances open up. All of a sudden you start getting inspired in ways to bring your passions front and center to then turn that into your career. Sometimes things like that that seem unconnected actually are. And then vice versa, maybe it's something that you really, really want a specific type of romantic partner, and then you choose to walk that overgrown path, and you're more focused on your career and turning your passions into your full-time purpose and so on and so forth. Um, then what will happen is because you're changing your energy, because you're choosing to walk this path, there will be somebody else that romantically shows up for you that's in alignment with that new energy. So it's one of these, like, I feel like what's coming through is that by choosing to walk this path, other things in your life are going to come in as well in multiple areas of your life, not just one aspect, not just materially, not just mentally, emotionally, spiritually, etc. Um, is that it? Okay. Well, my recommendation would be to walk the overgrown path. But that's just, that's what my soul chooses to do. I can say it's, if you think about that analogy, it's not as easy, so to speak, because you've got to, maybe you need to bring like a little, I was thinking machete. Those aren't really little. But maybe you need to bring something with you to cut through some of that underbrush so you can walk this path. And that's some work, and that would be more symbolic of like some of the internal work that it requires to walk this path. Some of that healing work, some of that integration work, those kinds of things, shadow work, that kind of stuff. That's what this path requires. The thing is once you cut through a lot of that, and there's always going to be more stuff that comes up. So if we're thinking about this analogy, there's going to be other spots where it's overgrown and you've got to do some more work to keep walking on that path. But it gets easier and easier the more you do it. And that path leads to just amazing opportunities, awesome experiences, soul fulfillment, alignment, soul tribe connections. Um, and then it really paves the way to come into the awareness of how to live more in alignment on a regular basis. And then all of a sudden you look back and you're like, wow, my life has completely changed. And there's the element of surrender that has to happen as well, where it's like, okay, well, I don't know what's beyond this next patch of overgrown stuff. Um, but I'm willing to walk it. And it's that commitment to walk that path that continuously opens you up for just amazing experiences and to really build and sustain and maintain um what you would look at as like a dream life. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Of course, it's your life, it's your choices. We're free will beings. And so, there's nothing wrong with the safe path either. There's really not. A lot of people walk the safe path. But the thing is, where it becomes difficult is if you are a soul that came here to walk that like that overgrown path, that path that not a whole lot of people walk. When you walk the safe path, there's always going to be this soul stirring that's happening. It's this soul unrest that's like, yes, but we came here to do this. Yeah, you can continue to do this and build a life on this path that's safe, that's known, that's many, many people have walked this path and has shown to lead to some sort of guaranteed experience. And that's the thing too, is like the safe path is one where you're guaranteed certain things. The unknown path is the one that leads to just expansion and growth and miracles and just continuous expansion and just it's just it's fulfilling if your soul came here to walk that path. And so it's one of these things where it's like you don't have to pick that path and to do that inner work and all of that. But I really feel like if you're here and you're watching this message, you came here as a soul to experience that path. And so it's a little scary. It's a lot scary sometimes. It's very unknown. It's not secure. It's not guaranteed. But what's guaranteed is that you will find soul fulfillment in a way that is not possible on this other path. And so that's kind of the choice that you have open to you right now is, are you going to continue to walk this safe path? Or are you going to choose the unknown path and open yourself up to experiences that are beyond your wildest dreams? Okay. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. So I wish you the best of luck on this. If this resonates, you can let me know in the comments below. You can also hit that like button. It does help out the channel. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, if you would like to see more from me, feel free to hit subscribe, and I will see you on the next message. Bye.